when we did the first movie, I don't think we had no inclination of kind of continuing it. So when Jim called up many years later and said, I've got an idea of how to develop this into a saga, that's very exciting. And to use that love story as the basis is great because it naturally progresses to a family.
It's time to return to Pandora for Avatar: Fire and Ash, which marks the third film in the beloved and groundbreaking franchise. The stars of the movie, as well as director James Cameron, spoke to The Hollywood Reporter all about the new film.
It really feels like this movie is the most intense and emotional Avatar movie so far. It sees Neytiri grieving the death of one of her sons. What was it like taking these characters to this emotional place?
It was difficult. These are not emotions that actors are skipping to work to incarnate. But I feel really comforted by the fact that I was able to do it with Sam and Jim.
This movie, we're taking those emotions and these characters more complex and deeper. So when you're doing the battle scenes, they're constructed in a way where they have to be very precise to be safe. But when we're doing the ones with each other, there's a freedom to it, and we don't know where each actor's going to take it. And they're emotionally charged and they're emotionally true.
I feel they portray these people in this marriage with such honesty and such courage, and it really takes my breath away. I mean, you don't have many action films that are so satisfying and moving on so many levels.
This one, I just felt like it was time to shift the emphasis to the people, to the family. We know these characters now. We've known them long enough. We can go, into deeper places with them and put it all in jeopardy. So it's not just about having a big fight and see who lives and who dies, right? It's more about their heart, their soul is in jeopardy, right? And we want to see them heal. We want to come out of it with some hope. And I don't want to give it all away, but I'm a sucker for a happy ending, within reason.
What do I want?
What you've never had. An equal.
The new film introduces the Ash people, led by Varong, played by Oona Chaplin.
You're a new character in this movie, but your face is the big one on the poster. It's the big one on the billboards. What's it like driving around LA and seeing your face on these big billboards?
I received the pictures of the billboards and stuff from my mother-in-law and my friends. But I live out in the country and I hardly ever leave my house because there's a lot of gardening to do. But it's amazing, It's been such a gift. And I was talking to Deborah Scott Lee, who designed the costumes, and a lot of it is people were out on the carpet last night dressed as Varong, and haven't even seen the movie. This has been such an incredible piece of collaboration. I just love the fact that I get to go on this ride because I really put my heart and soul into it, and I enjoyed it very, very much. But then, the artists down the line, they really made her have so much flair, and I just love her. I mean, I was looking up at my cell phone screen and whoa, that's cool, That's so cool.
Stephen and Oona, you share so many scenes together in this film. What was it like working together on this?
It gets said in the scene. I say, you want something, I've got something that you've never had, an equal. And that kind of feeling of equality, the shifting of power within the scene itself. Well, I shouldn't say that because she wields all the power in the scene, it seems to me. But there's a certain power in becoming submissive, and you never think of Korich as a submissive character. So it's wonderful to be able to add these new colors, with her.
How do you still live?
What if every human being on Earth could live here without a mask? Then the Na'vi people will be gone.
Everyone who's worked on the film has such amazing things to say about James Cameron as a director. What's it like working with him, and is there one note he's given you over the years that's really stuck with you as just the best note he's ever given you?
I love when he says, I don't know, but let's try it. Okay, you want to try it, kiddo? I'm like, yep. I love that he never makes you feel like you're in the way, that you are creating an imposition by being curious, by asking a question, by making a suggestion. He welcomes it so much, and I need to work with directors like that because I care so deeply. When I do care, I care so very deeply, and I'm coming to work with so much passion and so many ideas and so many questions and with the best of intentions. So when I feel really seen and appreciated and valued like that, it's healing.
Unlike what a lot of people have thought, this is not a technological process. The technology happens so far away, and so we're at a kind of early theater rehearsal going for it, and Jim's right there with us. So his belief in us, his protection of us is so ongoing, it just spoils you.
Why do you think actors love working with you as a director?
I think it's because I give them a lot of free rein, and then I'll just come in and I'll speak from the character. So I think being a writer is critical. You know, I think if I was just a hired gun visual director, this wouldn't work, you know, the same way, because the visual stuff is like the camera style, the lighting and all that sort of stuff. And I shovel that all off to later. I take that all off them. So they're not waiting around. They're not in their trailer waiting for us to light the reverse, you know. They're just always on. And they're always in a close-up, too. So it's like, guys, you're served. You're in a close-up all the time. You've got to bring it. But it's trust, right? It's about trust. It's about them going through the process and trusting the outcome.
This world goes much deeper than you imagine.
As Avatar Fire and Ash is being released, the future of the franchise is up in the air, as Cameron has said that the box office performance of this film will determine whether or not he makes his planned 4th and 5th movies.
I mean, look, I'd love to have the opportunity. It's a crackling good story for, you know, I mean, I have no bones about that story. I know it's a strong story, and it takes Spider way far from what you think, ideally in a good way. But that said, you know, I mean, you're keenly aware, working for the Hollywood Reporter, that, you know, the landscape is changing. The ground is shifting under our feet in terms of the theatrical marketplace. And is that still going to be a thing? Is that still even going to exist by the time I could get those movies done? And the business model of an Avatar movie is being threatened simply by that contraction of the theatrical marketplace, and by the fact that at this very same time we're losing revenue, costs are going up continuously, especially in VFX, which is where we spend most of our money. The performance capture work is relatively inexpensive, much, much cheaper than live action production, and it really gives us a chance to be creative and to take our time, you know, in making 2 and 3 together as one production. We spent 18 months with, you know, Sigourney and Sam and Zoe and all the others, just getting it right, you know. And it's unhurried, it's creative, it's playful, it's like theater rehearsal, you know. It's really quite a wonderful experience. The actors love it, I love it as a writer-director, because I'm creating these characters and watching them bring them to life, you know. It's a joyful process.
Avatar Fire and Ash hits theaters December 19th. For much more on the film, go to THR.com. For the Hollywood Reporter News, I'm Tiffany Taylor.